As we continue getting reaction from political parties that are in the opposition at the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, we're joined by the EFF to get their reaction. And as we know, they have raised a lot of noise around the infrastructure decay. What do you make of the speech that was delivered by the Premier today? Did it touch on any of the challenges that you think it should have addressed? And do you think these promises will come to fruition?
Thank you. No, look, I don't think that it would have touched on the many aspects of particularly service delivery that is currently being experienced in Gauteng. You know, more than anything, he used the platform to sort of just pacify his comrades within the ANC structures in all these municipalities, where he would over-glorify. You know, I mean, how would you speak of Sedibeng and not equate to the aspect of service delivery that is not taking place, as opposed to the creation of a stable government? You know, the people of Sedibeng are riddled with potholes. There's no waste collection. There's sewage spillages everywhere. Does not draw reference to the fact that perhaps a motion of no confidence, even with the ANC employees themselves there, is as a direct result of non-performance. You know, the same thing could be equated to the city of Mbalenhle, where he would have drawn some level of inspiration. Does not obviously give accolades to the fact that the water champions is something that has been propelled by the former MMC, Commissar Thembi Msane, you know, was heading water, but draws the reference to what he would then perceive as what he has been told as now a stable government under Kagaza. But if you look at his speech and what is currently happening in Tembisa, you know, is a far-gone contradiction of what would constitute stability, and the many other spaces that we can draw reference to. You know, when you look at the way he comes from in the previous year to what he has been saying today, there's little reporting in terms of what would have happened in the previous State of the Province address to what would have happened now, and what are the immediate goals to look forward to. You know, in the previous year, he made a commitment of 18 schools. He only spoke of 2 schools that he would have opened, with Gauteng having a backlog of about 2,500 classrooms. 2 schools do have a meaningless impact, particularly to the people that he would want to elevate the most, which are people in the townships, by the way. The many of the students that would have passed and are in the bracket of the 90% pass rate that we would have spoken about will linger because there is unemployment. In the previous year, he made a commitment that about 1 million jobs would be allocated, or they would be found, or job opportunities would be established. But today only draws the reference to about 250,000, you know, and an extreme reliance also on private-public participation process, as opposed to really government delivery. You know, would have spoken of infrastructure decay the previous year, but still refers to it till today. The question should be asked: how many roads have you built in terms of infrastructure development from the previous year till now? How many reservoirs have you at least commissioned from the previous year until now? You know, he speaks of a smart city, which is something that they've been drawing conclusion of for the previous years. And today only tells us about a film studio in reference to the smart city in itself. And these are the challenges that we constantly experience with this particular premier, who has decided to use the platform more than anything to elevate himself, considering that they are going to the provincial elections within the ANC circles.
He continues to then say, now they've vaccinated 268,000 cows. This is a lie again, because this vaccination took place over 2 years ago. You probably ate some of the beef. I ate some of the beef already of the same cow. So with 268,000, you know, cattle that he's talking about vaccinated. And now he also then speaks about the infrastructure and says, no, they are dealing with the issues around infrastructure around Gauteng. They're not dealing with the issues of infrastructure around Gauteng. Gauteng needs almost half a trillion rand to be able to then deal with the issues of infrastructure. Municipalities don't have that. He doesn't talk about how municipalities will be able to then get that money so that we can then deal and fix the problem of water, as an example, in Gauteng. No matter what they can try and say they will do, unless and until they're able to then consolidate how they can bring money to be able to then address these challenges, they are not going to be able to then make a dent. And we'll continue to lose 40% of water that Gauteng is getting on a daily basis.
As a business person,
the business community, I think the majority of business people that are here are confirming that there was a lot of accountability from the Premier. There was a lot of reporting from the G13 or the 13 challenges that we identified in the last SOPA that we had last year. The issues that have to do with housing, issues that have to do with drug abuse, the economy, the informal settlements. I mean, he made it quite clear that Gauteng will not allow any new informal settlement coming through in our province anymore. So I think we are quite comfortable with the accountability and also the plans that have been shared. The 250,000 jobs that have been committed, looking at the over 300 billion that was committed in the last Gauteng summit, in which over 70 billion has already started rolling out. So you see that some of the things that are indicated there are quite realistic, and they will happen.
Thank you so much. There you have it. Criticism from the opposition party saying that the speech was meant to appease those who will be voting in the upcoming provincial government, provincial elections in the ANC. I'm now joined by the ANC Chief Whip. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Your thoughts on the outcome of this address?
Look, jobs. There's been what transpired or occupied the speech. We're happy that there's political will and a will to create those jobs. We'll be watching closely the executive to account on these jobs that we're promising the people, but it is a step in the right direction. But not enough, but a step into the right direction.
And on the issue of schools, I mean, the EFF is saying not enough schools were built in the previous year. Your thoughts on that?
We're the only province that is building schools, a quite number of schools every year. Every year we're opening schools. We have not reached our target, but we're getting to a stage where we're ensuring that there's access to education to all our learners on the ground.
There you have it. Those are the reactions coming from here in Nasrec following that State of the Province address by Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi. It's back to you in studio.